I hope everyone was able to have a good profiting week this week. I did not manage to get a trade today, but not like there wasn't an opportunity. I will show you now, so let's get into that. If you remember from yesterday's trade, my bias for today was actually bearish, and so I was not expecting this huge candle to appear out of nowhere, but that's okay. It makes sense. We're still within this large imbalance, and you can see here I marked out this 4-hour order block as a potential target for today. So I saw that this morning, well, not this morning, just before my session, and first thing I did was mark out the 50% of this range. Now if you see towards 4:30, you can see we tapped into that range. And what is this? The EQ, not the consequent encroachment, because that we use for our wicks and fair value gap, so forth. For our range, we will use 50%, which we will call, which is called the equilibrium. So that is another point of interest. And so since we have our high time frame PD array delivery, what's next? We look for our liquidity sweep. And so after 4:30, we come down, we chop, do some accumulation. This is also a reason why I didn't want to enter today, mostly because this looked like PTSDs from yesterday, all this chop during my session, right after we have such a bullish momentum just before. And so that's why I was so hesitant to enter. But I did see some small opportunities here and there. For example, there was an immediate opportunity that I saw, but I didn't take it. You can see after we broke structure from that 4:30 candle, you can see it right there, we formed this tiny little order block here, little order blocky over there that we retraced to, and that would have been a very nice small opportunity for a sell. Very counter trend, but to be honest, I'm not a stranger to counter trend trades. And then the 50% would have been a nice target. Boom, like that. That would have been a nice 1 to 8. That is a lot. But if you had that opportunity and took it, you are very lucky. But we're looking for buys here. Like I said, my bias switched once I realized how much momentum we were getting right before the session. So I was looking for liquidity sweep right after we tapped this 50% range. I was not happy with this initial sweep over here. You can see we did not even break structure, and you can see with this next candle you couldn't even take the inverse fair value gap entry, because look how this candle fails to close over. Plus the safer entry for me is after we break structure. I like my fair value gap entries. So I was basically sitting on my hands for a while. So this became the new low, waiting for a new sweep. We get that sweep at the very end, and to be honest, at that point I already closed my charts. I was done looking. So if you manage to catch this, you are a very patient person, more patient than me. So this is one way to enter the usual fair value gap entry after the sorry, not this one, this very tiny one, the very first fair value gap after the market structure shift. You can see we break our market structure over there, or rather we break structure to the upside, come back down into that very first fair value gap, and that would have been a very nice entry. You can put your stop loss at least that fair value gap or at the low, targeting the highs. I'm not really sure if we're going to have enough momentum to go back up there, but there are plenty of opportunities to take profits. This highs, these minor highs, and even this internal liquidity fair value gaps, and inverse fair value gap over there. Lovely opportunities to take profit. If you didn't want to take entry at the fair value gap, then I can show you this entry model that I'm going to release a guide very soon. Is where we enter on the breaker block, or we enter on the we measure the breaker block from the wicks right here, or we enter on the order block from the bodies. We measure the order blocks from the bodies, and we can enter on those, but we have 3 things to make sure of. First of all, that we have our breaker, or we have our order block, we have a market structure shift, we have a liquidity sweep, and that we have a fair value gap present that's in line with our breaker or our order block. And that I have called the Blockbuster Strategies. Yes, clever, I know. I'm going to release a guide very soon on those, but those are very nice entry opportunities if you are not comfortable with entering on fair value gaps. So I think that was the only opportunity for today. Otherwise, it was looking very choppy for me. I prefer trades that move very fast, very quickly, not this very slow movement. So that concludes this video. Hope you guys made good profits this week. I guess I'm only making about 422 minus the 650 for this week, which is not bad. I'm at least in profit, but looking forward to next week's trades. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video.